Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we continue our spooky season focused content with a look at my top 10 foreign horror movies. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so foreign horror movies. I have to admit, I am not like the biggest connoisseur of foreign films. I never have been. Not when I was studying film in college, not when I was teaching film studies or anything else. I like what I like. I'm a kid of the 80s. I grew up here in the 80s, rural, South. Things got slow. We walked to theaters. We saw our movies in the theaters. We rented our movies at the mom and pop movie rental place. And that kind of stuff was just not readily available. I know it's kind of hard, like if you grew up in big cities, if you are younger, like if you are under 40 or 35 or under 30, your whole life you've been able to access any movie at any time. Most of what I got from foreign horror movies when I was young was late night, like TBS or something like that, or like off of later on Joe Bob Briggs' Monster Vision or Elvira's Mistress of the Dark. Those kind of shows, that's where I got it. Or like old public television. I would get some stuff from there. But I just wasn't exposed to a lot. And, as a result, I don't like reading subtitles for the most part. So the movie has to really pull me in. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that I'm considering, even if it's a British or if it's a UK film that originated there, that's not the United States. So that is a foreign horror film. So we are going to go to my top 10. I'm going to start with a couple of honorable mentions because I found out something that was really interesting. The remake of Let the Right One In, the Let Me In, which I can't remember which titles back and forth. The remake, the one with Chloe Grace Moretz, which I prefer because it takes out some very unsavory elements that I just don't approve of in the original. That is actually a Hammer film. And so, I didn't realize Hammer Films were still making movies out of the UK, but they are, and that's a Hammer film. So I wanted to throw it in. It changes things fundamentally from the original because it makes the little girl a little girl, and takes away some very things that I don't like about the original that I'm just not interested in watching. So I got to throw that in as an honorable mention. I had one other honorable mention. I thought, Nosferatu, the original. I'm not the biggest silent film guy ever. It's a classic. It earns its place in the history of cinema. But to be honest, if we're all in the booth of honesty, most of us, 9 times out of 10, on a fun Friday night when you're ordering pizza and you're wanting to throw in a movie to watch, you're probably not throwing in a 100-year-old silent film. Sometimes maybe. But it does earn its place in cinema, so I wanted to mention it. All right, so now to my top 10, and the first one on the list at 10, you guys are going to be surprised because I actually have done a video about how I think this film overall might be overhyped, but it still has things that are undoubtedly good about it, and I am talking about Suspiria. I am not crazy over this film like other people are, but it does have some great cinematography, some cool work. As a script, I'm not a fan because I don't believe that you can keep the exact same script that you wrote for 12-year-old girls and give it to 20-something-year-olds. It causes plot holes, it causes issues, but I do respect the filmmaking here and some of the stuff. Just the opening sequence where she's walking through the airport and catching a cab. For some reason, the way that was shot and everything about it makes just that sequence terrifying. I actually saw that John Carpenter said the same thing. I feel like if we had stuck with that, we might have been a little bit better off, but overall, Suspiria has to come in top 10 I've got a moth flying in here that disagrees with me. But Suspiria comes in at number 10. All right, at number 9 is one that I don't have, and this is Rec from 2007 that originates from Spain. And I think there might have been a remake of this with Jennifer Carpenter, isn't that her name? Called Quarantine. I don't know if that's a remake of Rec from 2007 Spain, but this is a found footage horror film, and it all mostly takes place inside this building. It is very intense, very scary. Quarantine is scary too, but I just remember seeing this and thinking, man, this is really visceral. It's hard to do found footage the right way, but the way this film is shot, the way it does, is very scary to me, and it's hard for me to get scared. And even if I have to read something on screen, it scares me as I'm being distracted reading. You gotta include it on the list. So Rec from 2007 out of Spain comes in at number 9 on my list. Now at number 8 on my list is one that I just got in the mail as a gift from awesome subscriber and channel member Lance. Lance, I really appreciate this. This is a film that I remember by a different title as a kid when I was growing up and saw this in the movie rental place. I am talking about Phenomena. Now, Phenomena, when I was a kid, Phenomena, I remember seeing in the movie rental place as Creepers. This originates out of Italy, obviously, because this is Dario Argento. And, of course, you have Jennifer Connelly in here. You have Donald Pleasance is in here, and it's Italy, but it's also Switzerland. She gets sent to like a boarding school or whatever, and this is again a Goblin soundtrack. Like Dario Argento started working with them, and he just started kind of going for it. But Jennifer Connelly here is in her heyday. She's rocking Labyrinth around this time and everything. I remember my brother renting this a lot. Wow, this says played by Oscar-winning. I didn't realize Jennifer Connelly had won an Oscar for anything. That's interesting. Sorry, got a little sidetracked there. But she gets sent to like a girls' academy or whatever in Switzerland, and there's like a killer on the loose, and she has the ability to like talk to creatures, insects, like all this kind of stuff, and kind of helps to that whole situation there. I have not revisited Phenomena in a long time, and I'm very proud to get this. I'm looking forward to checking out the 4K here by Synapse. This is an awesome gift. This was on my Orbit wish list for a long time, because as much as I crack on Dario Argento and things like that, I do respect his work, and I do like some of his films, and Phenomena is one of them. It comes in here at number 8 on our list. At number 7 on our list, and I actually bounced between this being higher, but I just watched it for the first time ever a couple nights ago getting ready for this list. I was like, my friend Chance was like, you got to check this out. But I didn't. I kind of kept it this low because, sometimes when you see a movie for the first time and you really like it, you can be on that high and have that recency bias. So I didn't want to do that. But Brotherhood of the Wolf, originating out of France. Now, I watched the English dubbed version because I'm not big into having to read titles all the time, especially I have to wear my glasses and sit far from the TV. But man, holy shit, I must have this 4K, because if nothing else, if you didn't ever hear a word in the movie, the visuals, the cinematography, the set pieces, the costumes, the action, the match dissolves, the cross dissolves, the story comes through. It's like 2.5 hours long, maybe. I can't wait to watch it again. I must have this 4K. Of course, you have a werewolf story here coming out of France, and it's like a period piece too, and I'm a history guy. This has all the stuff for me. All the stuff. I can't wait to watch it again. I really want to get the 4K now. I think the 4K used to have a slip cover. But I mean, at this point, I want to see that movie, just a beautiful shot film in 4K so much. I just really, really liked Brotherhood of the Wolf. So it comes in here on our list at number 10, 9, 8, at number 7. All right, at number 6 is one that I was able to just get on physical media since I think maybe the first time I talked about it a couple of months ago. I found this on Orbit. It is a Region B Blu-ray. Got it for $10 right before my buying freeze. Can't beat $10. I'm a big werewolf movie fan. This is a severely underrated werewolf movie as well. I am talking about Howl. Now, so this is a British UK film. They do some good werewolf stuff over there. I've talked about it a lot. I think the werewolves in this are vicious. This is a scary, isolated survival situation. This group of people are taking this train at nighttime and they got to go through the desolated countryside. The train breaks down and literally the werewolves are outside trying to get in, kill them. There's no sexiness. There's no fun. There's no talking about it. There's no cooperating or anything. This is violent, kill or be killed. And while you don't recognize a lot of actors in this movie, the actors that are in here are great and they interact with each other very well. It's very believable. You do get a little cameo by Roy fucking Kent. If you have watched Ted Lasso, you know who that is, but he's not in the movie a whole lot, but he is there. It says slick, tense, bloody, and surprisingly funny. How's a homegrown creature feature with bite? I totally agree. There's nothing not to like about this movie. I wish, maybe they had a little bit more budget. I don't care. Like, I don't see a budget. I just see a damn good movie with this. I am proud to have this in my collection. Hopefully they do a 4K eventually. That would be really cool. It says the special effects team that did The Descent and The Woman in Black. So very, very cool. The Woman in Black, I was talking to my buddy Daniel at the Cobwebs. That's also a Hammer film. So very, very cool. And Last Train, Full Moon, All Change. Howl comes in on our list at number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. All right, we are in the top 5 now with another one that I don't have, but I really want the Criterion 4K. This is a very scary, a haunted house movie with a surprise ending, and you'll probably be surprised to realize this is a foreign film. But I am talking about The Others, starring Nicole Kidman. This is actually out of Spain and France, and most of the filming locations, all the filming were done in Spain and France. It just had some post-production, some different things done in the U.S., but this is definitely a foreign-created film, even though you see Nicole Kidman in there, who herself is Australian. So this is a foreign film. Nicole Kidman has this house. She hires servants, but her kids have a condition where they cannot be touched by light. So she runs that. I always think of her like moving through the house and quickly turning around and locking doors. And she's like, this house is like a ship, and the doors have to be closed and locked to prevent the ship from sinking. Like the light coming through, we have to lock it out. It's like a slow, intense build, and then the twist at the end is absolutely insane. It is worth your time if you haven't seen The Others. I think this is one that probably looks great in 4K. I do need to get the Criterion 4K on this eventually, but The Others comes in cracking top 5 on our list. Great performance in this movie too, by Nicole Kidman, who's absolutely beautiful, but just a great performance, very haunting movie, The Others. All right, I'm going to cheat at number 4 and kind of have a tie here, though one is clearly my favorite over the other, but I just feel like it's hard to split them up because it's like part 1 and part 2, although there's kind of 2 sequels to this part 1. But I am talking about The Horror of Dracula and The Brides of Dracula. Now, Horror of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing, is probably my favorite of the Hammer films. You do have The Curse of Frank. You have a couple, but Horror of Dracula is really damn good. But it's like when you combine these two together. Now, The Brides of Dracula is technically a sequel, but it does not have Dracula in it as Brides of Dracula, right? But both are really good films, Hammer films, British films. These are the type of films that I am getting back into, that I was exposed to on like late night, like Monster Vision and public television here in the South, when we had like 6 channels that you could maybe get in on a clear night on my great-grandparents' farm. If you used rabbit ears with some aluminum foil on them. Maybe you saw them on like a Monster Vision or through Elvira or something like that too. But they're absolute classics. Maybe you don't consider them foreign films, but to me, if they were created in the UK, they were filmed there, they were made there, the production studio is out of there, that is a foreign film. Even though, you know, England and UK are like our brothers, you still got to have a passport to get there. And I consider it a foreign film, and I absolutely love these. I'm getting way more back into Hammer horror and some different things like that, broadening the horizons, but I'm still going to like what I like, y'all. I'm still going to like what I like. Just so you know, I'm not into film snobbery. Like I said, I studied film, I taught film, I make films. People will say, my buddy Chance and I talk about how, because he went to film school too, he made movies with me. He'll talk about how, you know, people will get in there and they'll be like, oh, I'm here because of this autistic movie, this and that and the other. And he's like, bullshit, you're here because you like Star Wars. Or, you know, and he's like, I'm here because I like Smokey and the Bandit and, you know, Star Wars and all this kind of stuff. It's okay to like what you like. You don't have to prove that you are a more of a connoisseur of film, or that you're a somewhat better film person, so to speak, because you like a foreign film over a domestic film. That is absolutely asinine. 100%. It does not make you better. So just because it came from another country, if you like it, you're better, more sophisticated. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like what you like. I like these. They're on my list. All right, coming up next on my list is another Hammer film that I don't have. And I just saw this recently. This was another recommendation from my man Daniel at Cobwebs channel after I had done a list about the top 15 movies about the devil himself. And this is Christopher Lee starring again in The Devil Rides Out. Way better than I thought it was going to be, man. It's another UK Hammer film. The Devil Rides Out was super good. It's another one that I need to pick up. I think Scream Factory has it right now on sale. I'm a little apprehensive, even if I wasn't on a buying freeze, to buy Hammer films right now, because I feel like 4Ks are coming. They announced, Kino Lorber announced Scars of Dracula 4K coming, and I feel like that would be the tip of the iceberg. But The Devil Rides Out was really good. Like, Christopher Lee is a badass, kicking ass, fighting, you know, going out to fight against these satanic cult members. It has a lot going on in it, and I was just, like, taken aback. Like, immediately at the beginning of this movie, he comes in, no bullshit, take charge, Christopher Lee gonna kick some ass, and he's not gonna have any BS talk back about it. I really liked The Devil Rides Out. I went back and forth on whether or not it should be above like Horror of Dracula. They're interchangeable, but like now it's another one. I maybe put it up there because of recency bias a little bit, but I really, really did enjoy The Devil Rides Out. All right. We are down to our final two, my top two. And this was really, really hard. And I had to take out how good the 4Ks look out of it and just evaluate the movie itself. So coming in at number 2 on my list is my favorite Italian horror movie ever, Demons. If you factor in how good the 4K looks, this would be number 1, but that's not what we're doing here. We're talking about the movies themselves. And Demons, like, it pushed for number one still because it takes place in a movie theater. I love how it incorporates the movie theater, the movie vibes. The movie basically comes to life. What's happening in the movie? Everybody's getting turned to demons. It's squishy, good fun. Now, it says Dario Argento, but this is really a Bava film, a Lamberto Bava film. It is, I remember being scared to death of it. I've told the story many times when I was a kid. It made a mark on me that continues to this day. The 4K is one of the best 4Ks I've ever laid my eyes on. The way they filmed this movie with the lighting and stuff in the theater is beyond impressive to me. The practical effects, I think Demons is phenomenal, and it is by far my favorite Italian horror film. It is not close, and it comes in at number 2 overall on the list. So you might be wondering what's number 1 on the list. Well, you guys know I'm a huge werewolf fan. You know I beat the drum on this film any chance that I can get. This is a great 4K too, but I believe the movie was shot in 16mm, so there's only so much that you can work with. I classify this as the Predator meets a werewolf movie. It's if the Predator movie was a werewolf movie. I am talking about Dog Soldiers. This is a UK, British, Scottish film. Takes place in the Scottish Highlands. This group of soldiers, like special forces type soldiers, they're on routine maneuvers. They find some other soldiers who were set upon and killed. There's one surviving member. Turns out they were killed by werewolves. And this turns into some high action with some comedy elements, survive the night horror with literally the wolves at the door. This group of soldiers, it is Predator. This group of soldiers being stalked by werewolves out there. So just switch the Predator with werewolves. And that's what you have, because this is a group of special trained soldiers, just like in Predator. And there is a beast out there that they don't know anything about, a monster out there they don't know anything about. It could be Predator, it could be werewolves. This happens to be werewolves. I love the werewolf design. They hold up in this house is where they make their final stand. They're detached. Nobody can come in and get them, very much like Predator. I'm telling you, this is Predator meets a werewolf film. Kevin McKidd is in this, Liam Cunningham. This is a damn good movie. If you have not seen this movie, run, don't walk to watch Dog Soldiers. It is my favorite foreign horror film of all time. The Brits, the UK there, they do some hellaciously good werewolf movies apparently, and this is my favorite among them. So Dog Soldiers, my favorite foreign horror film of all time. Check it out if you can. I think you can still get this awesome second sight set out there from Orbit and some other places at a good price for a hell of a set. It is a bitch of a werewolf movie. I got the shirt. Love this movie. All in on Dog Soldiers. Absolutely love it. And that is my list. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments some of your all-time favorite foreign horror movies. Should I put something else on my list? I know everything is subjective. What'd you think of the list? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know some of your favorites out there. We are still spooky season focused until the end of the month. Got a couple more weeks or so to go here. As I am recording this, I'm about 5 subscribers away from 5,000. So look for a big announcement of a 5,000 subscriber live stream coming hopefully later this week. Maybe on Wednesday. I have a lot going on trying to get the room finished. I had a death in the family, so I have a funeral tomorrow. So if for some reason I can't make, if I can't get a video out tomorrow, that is why. But there's a lot going on, but I cannot wait for the subscriber live stream. Those are a lot of fun. I got to give some awesome free stuff to give away, y'all, that I've been holding on to since before my buying freeze. And it's just a big thank you. This means so much to me. I enjoy doing this so much. And if you want to help support the channel, like and subscribe and join if you're interested in that. A couple dollars a month depending on your tier. You get access to special videos, behind the scene content, all kinds of stuff. And of course, your name and lights here. And I really do appreciate it so much, you guys. I really do. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. Everything goes back into making sure I can continue to do this all the time and so frequently. And I really do appreciate it. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.